Let's see what you've got for yourself tonight. What is the one aspect of your culture that you would like to showcase to the world?
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. I belong to a Shuambo tribe, and we reside in the northern part of the country. The one thing that we're known for is hard work. And this is something that emulates from me as a person, and I've used this to get my degree to become a medical doctor to help my community. On top of that, I think it's very important that I show this to the rest of the world, because I know personally in life that there is no deliverance without contractions. Thank you. Hello my diamonds, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Kiki here, and I'm finally back on YouTube after having gone missing for such a long time. I've had a lot on my plate, as you can see. I brought an excuse, okay? So do not attack me. I'm so excited to be back and share this journey with you and what has been going on in my life and how I ended up winning Miss Supranational Namibia 2022. It's absolutely crazy, so keep on watching. I believe the best way to tell a good story is to really get into all the details and give all the information, but it's been months. It's been a very long time and this story is so lengthy. So I'm just going to give you the highlights in this one, but I will make a separate video where I explain my entire journey and really how I was able to transform and become a better person because of it. So last year, towards the end of 2021, I applied for Miss Supranational Namibia 2022. And if you're not familiar with beauty pageants in general, Miss Supranational forms part of the 5 Grand Slam annual female beauty pageants in the world. So there's Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Supranational, Miss International, and Miss Earth, if I'm not mistaken. So these are one of the biggest beauty pageants ever in the history of just life. And I got the guts and the bravery and the confidence from I don't know who to participate in this pageant. I really felt the brand really aligns with who I am as a person and what I want to achieve with my life and the kind of woman that I want to be. If you've been following me for quite some time, you know that I really love taking part in beauty pageants. It's my passion, it's what I love to do, just as much as other people love or gravitate towards music or arts or fashion. For me, it's really beauty pageants, and it's not just a hobby that I do on the side. It's really something that I invest my time, my money, my efforts, and everything that I basically have to give. I invested in beauty pageants. So I thought this is a great opportunity for me to stretch, to grow, because that's what life is all about, and expanding. And the last thing that I could ever want is to just be a normal medical doctor. I wanted to really have tangible results and something standing that says, look, this is what I've done with my passion. This is a body of work that I have done. And I thought a beauty pageant is really a good platform for me to live through that and to have a team that is able to support me in a very positive light. So yeah, I decided to participate in this pageant. It's been a roller coaster. It has been very challenging in the best and the worst ways. I am now able to look back and smile and be happy and be glad, but the journey was extremely difficult mentally for me, physically and financially as well. But I was really able to tell myself that, look, if I'm going to start this thing, if I'm going to participate in this pageant, I have to go all the way, and nothing is going to stop me regardless of how I feel that day or what I am doing. I am going to commit to this particular thing, and I'm going to see it towards the very end. And that's what I did. I can honestly say there were many times that I wanted to quit. There were many times that it was extremely difficult to just wake up in the morning and go for workshops almost every weekend. And you know, you look around you, you're not supposed to compare, but you look at the other ladies and they're so well articulate, they're educated, they're smart, they're beautiful, they're tall, they have all this experience, they have all these fans in the community, and you look at yourself and where you come from, and you really doubting yourself. And it was quite hard, but I really tried to work hard and let my work speak for itself. I was very committed to this journey. I really made sure that nothing will ever stop me dead in my tracks. I told myself at the beginning of this journey that I was going to be a no matter what person, and then no matter what really came for me, it came from my throat, but I came for it as well. And towards the very end, I ended up being victorious and walking away with a crown, which is a huge deal. It's such an honor, and it's such a big thing, and not so much as the accolade itself of having the title and the crown and the sash and the opportunities and everything that comes with it, but just to really look back and say, I worked so hard for this particular thing. I sacrificed so much. I put everything on hold for this thing, and regardless of what anybody has to say or has to say, I really put my mind and I focus on this thing. And it is true what people say, that if you work hard and if you do all these things that these books are being written about, that you will actually get some results. And that's basically what I applied during this journey, and I'm just so happy to find out that the theory is actually true. So yeah, 26th of March was the coronation night. That's when I was crowned, and I was crowned alongside my Mr. Supranational, the very first Mr. Supranational Namibia. That's John Louis Notes. He's absolutely amazing. And right now we're basically just getting ready to go to Poland, because this is what happens in beauty pageants. If you're crowned as the national winner again in a competition, you are automatically advanced to the next stage, which is the international competition. And the most interesting and amazing part about Miss Supranational is that last year at the international stage against hundreds, maybe not hundreds, but really like a lot of countries around the world, Namibia came victorious, and Miss Shanique Rabe actually ended up being the Supranational International for the year 2021. So there's a little bit of pressure on me to see what I can bring to the table, but I am positive that I'm going to work really hard and really do my best for my part to see how far that will take me. But that it's a huge accolade on her behalf, because that's the very first time Miss Supranational is crowning an African. That's number one. And number two, for the very first time, Namibia is receiving the title of Miss Supranational. So these are very big shoes to fill. Carrying this title is an absolute honor, and I'm just so excited to see where and how far I will go with this title. I think the most important thing when it comes to beauty pageant for me is the community work and what you're able to do and what you're able to produce with your title and your sash and all the influence that comes with it. And obviously, being a medical doctor, my passion lies with medicine and health and the ability for it to be provided to everybody regardless of socioeconomic circumstances. And having worked in state hospitals basically my entire career, training in the state hospital and working in a state hospital, you really get to see how there is an inequality in the provision of health services. I mean, of course, the last couple of years have been very hectic, and the entire world, for the first time in, I guess, history, came to a complete stop because people were not healthy. And I would have thought at this point, there are at least programs that are put in place that are really adamantly teaching people about their health or how to become more health conscious and things like that. But it really did not come out like that. So I thought, look, why don't I do something about it? So I started my own project foundation thing. Own Your Health. And it really speaks for itself because it talks about taking ownership of your health, and it talks about really being accountable and knowing exactly what is going on with you. A lot of the times we do not have very health-seeking behaviors. We only go to the hospital when we're feeling sick, but we do not have annual body checkups. We don't do all these very small critical things that are very necessary to us. One, we do not have access, especially in rural areas or very informal settlements. Number two, even if we do have access, we just do not really think it's necessary to do that. So my platform is digital. Obviously, it's here on YouTube. But the ultimate dream at the end of the day is to open up a health center, a clinic, and hopefully a hospital, an entire project that stands there that says, look, we provide healthcare services here, but we also educate, we teach, we train, and we provide emergency practical skills that are very important, because given a situation that you're home alone and a child is choking, you need to be able to know what to do in that situation. You cannot wait until you go to the hospital. And I think the one thing that really inspired me to do this personally is, of course, you guys are aware that I'm a medical intern. And as an intern here in Namibia, you really get to be at the front line of the health system in terms of just where you're placed in the hospitals. You are the one who's seeing patients, doing bloods, you're doing everything. You're seeing patients from the minute they enter that gate until they leave. They're usually under your care primarily, and then you have consultants, medical officers, and other seniors basically that come in. And I think the one that really touched me was an incident where this lady, she runs into casualty, which is the emergency department. I think in other countries you will resonate with. She runs in with her little 2-year-old baby, and she reports that the baby has been having diarrhea and vomiting for quite some time, but never really took the baby to the hospital because it has been an on and off thing. So by the time this lady comes to the hospital, the baby is severely dehydrated. Despite our efforts to get IV access, it was all in vain, and this baby actually ended up dying. And it's not the first time. This has happened many times, especially in the pediatric department, babies presenting with severe dehydration, and actually we're unable to resuscitate them. And I just thought to myself, one, this is preventable death. Had this mommy known to bring the baby to the hospital much sooner, it would not have happened. One, two, if she knew how to prepare ORS and even know what ORS is, then she would have been able to give to the baby on the way to the hospital. And I just thought to myself, how could she have known? I know for a fact that this is not information that is commonly known, number one. Number two, is there even a platform for that to be done, for this information to be carried out to the general population, for them to be well aware of emergencies and how to identify them and all these very important things? So Own Your Health is really a platform that gives out that information, and it's not necessarily only to people in the rural areas, but in urban areas as well, because we're really trying to collaborate with experts in the health sector in general to really give accurate information instead of Googling and finding out really scary answers just by typing in your symptoms, but really giving comprehensive information. And not only that, but skills, important skills that every person must know. And the one thing that I also picked up about my patients is that when it comes to chronic illnesses, they really are not aware of what is happening. You know, you're diabetic or you have high blood pressure, you're hypertensive, but you don't even know the name of the drugs that you're taking. You just know it's a white pill. And it's important that you know the kind of pill that you're taking, and when you started taking it, and the side effects and the complications of your chronic illness. And just all these very small tests that we perform, whether it's an HIV test or a COVID swab or a pregnancy test, how to interpret all those little things, how to take blood pressure. These are critical skills and information that everybody should know. And creating a platform like this, I think, is very relevant, not only to the Namibian context, but internationally as well. Because the one thing that we did see, especially during COVID, is I was able to identify a lot of gaps in the health sector, and instead of really pointing the finger at the government and asking them to do better, I thought to myself, what can I do as an individual to really address these gaps? And we found ourselves overwhelmed in hospitals that are overflowing with patients. And COVID wasn't the only illness that was there. We still had patients with strokes, and we still had accidents and MVAs and all of these things. And you should be able, as a citizen, as just a member of society, to be able to identify a stroke and to be able to, you know, at least perform first aid to a person that you're finding on the side of the road, and to see what to look out for. And if you have your grandmother who has, you know, high blood pressure or is diabetic, that you're able to, you know, do an AGT test on them and interpret the results before you come to the hospital. It just creates a culture of people that are more health conscious and that they're more knowledgeable and self-reliant, because at the end of the day, that is my objective and that is my goal. I mean, obviously right now it's digital, Still trying to work on that so we can have a more physical and, you know, platform that is able to reach a lot of people. But I think this is the fastest and the quickest way that, and the safest, obviously due to COVID, which is going down now, to, you know, bring on board my colleagues and everybody else who's interested as well. I think it's a collaborative effort. This title as Miss Supranational Namibia is not for Julita, it's not just for my village, it's for everybody, it's for all my Namibian people, and I'm definitely not going to be able to do that by myself. We'll just come together and figure out a way that we can address all these issues that we're seeing in society. So that's my Own Your Health project. It's a baby project for now, but I'm sure it's going to grow into something absolutely wonderful. The dream is to open up my own hospital. That is a big dream, but for now, let's keep it digital, and, you know, I'll be posting a lot of content. So if you see something, an Own Your Health episode, please just make sure to like and to really share it with your family members. It's going to be on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram as well. The other exciting thing that is happening is basically preparations to go to Poland. That's where the international competition actually is, and I am super stoked. I'm excited to represent my country and carry it with all the honor in the world. So yeah, that's it. That's what has been happening. My journey has been very, very blessed. There's a lot of grace, and the overwhelming feeling that I have right now is just gratitude. I'm just very grateful to all my sponsors and everybody that has basically taken time out to really reach out to me, whether it's the positive message or really making me a gown in 2 hours, or doing my hair, or advising me, and all these wonderful, beautiful things. The reception has been absolutely overwhelming and beautiful, and I really, really appreciate it so much. I think that's enough excitement for the day. Thank you so much for listening and clicking on this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below actually what kind of videos would you like to see on the Own Your Health series. I've put up 3 so far, 3 episodes, so let me know what else you'd like to see, and I'm more than happy to, you know, make those videos for you guys. It's knowledge to you, and you can pass it on to the next person. I think that's the most critical and the most important thing. So for me, your Miss Supranational Namibia 2022. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
The excitement is real. And Miss Supranational Namibia 2022 is Yulita Ketwa Mangula!